Episode 5 already. My gosh, this one is gonna be a quick one, I think. First of all, if you've been tuning in, I just want to say I truly appreciate the support that you've been showing so far as I thread this part of this new journey, this entrepreneurship journey that I find myself on after quitting my 9 to 5. And today I want to touch base on a word that's been on my mind this past week. And that word is clarity. Now, I quickly looked up the etymology of the word clarity. And basically, etymology is the practice of breaking down a word. And so I looked this one up for clarity, and it comes from the word claritas, the Latin word. I hope I'm saying it correctly. But it comes from the Latin word claritas, and that essentially means brightness. And so how I interpret that brightness, of course, is being able to see clearly, or let's say if it's coming about sound, if it's pertaining to sound, it's hearing something clearly. And I want to relate this to a practice that I've been doing for some years now. It's been off and on, and for the last period, for this past year, it's been more on than not. And that's the practice of journaling and also planning out my day. And this has been a very beneficial practice for me, for the sole purpose that when I realize that I'm not taking the time early on in the morning to, first of all, get grounded, and then secondly, plan out what I want to do that day, I kind of go through the day quite aimlessly. So I know kind of what I should be doing, but then things pop up. I mean, sometimes my wife say I have ADHD, where it's like, my thoughts and actions are all scattered. But then things come up and I lose focus on what I was doing. And so one practice, again, that's been helping me is, this practice of planning out my day, where I would mark down the number one task that I want to have completed in that day, and then assign a time block to that. And then I'll do the same thing for maybe 2, 3, 4 more tasks. And then I'll slowly work off those tasks as I progress through the day within the given time blocks. And what I wanted to just touch base on is, as soon as I find myself not, partaking in this practice, or I'm not perfect, and so sometimes I do miss a day of journaling, I do miss an evening of reflecting, a morning of planning out my days. And as soon as that starts to happen, okay, on the first day it's not so bad. But what tends to happen is, if you slip once, and let's say the second day you don't do it, it starts to become this slippery slope. And then on the third day, at least for me personally, I'll feel myself slowly unraveling, losing sight of what it is that I should be focusing on and what I should be doing. And I wanted to touch base again on this because I've noticed it in that practice. But one thing that's also been on my mind is this idea of writing down my thoughts, not in a journaling sense, but just on different ideas and on different concepts that pop into my mind throughout the day, the week, or whenever you may have it, but also when taking in information. And so there's this practice, or at least there's this, what you would call it, this concept, this idea, this practice, basically. It's called Zettelkasten, and it's a practice that was established in Germany. I can't remember the name of the guy. I'll probably put it inside of the notes of this episode. But it's essentially building a second brain where you are capturing thoughts, ideas that you may have throughout the day, But also, whenever you're consuming different pieces of content, whether it's an article or whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube video, whatever you may have, or a book, that you essentially take notes and write these notes in your own words and start connecting these notes to different ideas that you may be having. And I guess I wanted to just bring this up in this episode because I just wanted to kind of just get it out there. I know I could have written this down, but I just wanted to verbally get this out there. One, as a way to continue to practice my communication skills. I do notice that compared to the first episode, I'm using a lot less likes, double clutches, etc. So this practice of speaking in front of the camera has proven to be slowly but surely a very useful tool in improving that communication, but I digress. What I wanted to say was I want to start implementing this practice into my daily routine, where essentially I start taking notes of, again, different ideas and concepts that pop into mind, but also notes on different pieces of content that I am consuming. And why I want to do this is because I want to start, my episodes right now are off the cuff, as you can tell. Thoughts are a bit scattered. It's not fully, dialed in as yet. I don't mind. Again, this is just something I'm starting out with, and I just want to get more comfortable speaking and not focus too much on scripting out my content at this point. But maybe at a later stage down the line, I may start to do this so I can really ensure that I'm providing you, whoever you are listening, the most value possible. But I want to start collecting these ideas and synthesizing them, basically. So getting my own thoughts, perspective, my own, applying it to, different, what would you call it? Different stories of myself, different, from in the past and what have you not, different topics that I'm, interested in, be it entrepreneurship, business, my web design, content creation, or just being a content creator in this day and age, so that I can, again, just bring, just a different perspective when it comes to whatever topic that I want to touch base on. And so again, I'm making this episode just to kind of clear the air, get my thoughts out there. I'm probably going to build this, what they tend to call it, a second brain. Build it in Notion, because I do love Notion. I love that Notion it just makes it very simple to organize your thoughts, your ideas. But I also use it for my web design, where I manage my clients, etc., create different templates. But make this second brain so I can refer back to these different pieces of ideas that I'm writing in, and continue to build on my knowledge base, put out better newsletters, make better podcast episodes, enrich my knowledge so that I can enrich whoever you are watching this. And it's going to be cool. Again, this second brain is something I'm going to be working on. Again, check out the Zettelkasten method. There are tons of videos. I do find it a bit tricky at times on how to best implement it, but I'm going to implement it in a way that I think suits the way that this brain of mine's work. But as soon as I do that, I'm probably going to make it available. So, feel free to reach out, or, just like check in and say like, yo, Andy, did you ever make this template? And would you mind sharing it with us or with me? Yeah, so that's clarity. So I kind of started from, the idea of clarity, what it means, why it's important, the different areas of our lives that it touches base on. And so, for example, another area for me is fitness, working out, at least not necessarily fitness, but staying in shape. And so I have a clear goal in that my main thing that I want to accomplish when it comes to training is just to live a long, healthy life so that I can be there for my kids and my grandkids and just be able to, play them one on one in whatever sport they choose to challenge me in and just beat them, to the ground. But no, clarity, super important. Just being able to get your thoughts down on paper or on a computer and just, take just different ideas that you may be capturing and making it, shaping it into your own and just sharing it with the world, give a fresh perspective. So, again, that's something that I'm going to be working on in the coming weeks and that I just wanted to make this podcast episode on. So this is number 5. Let me know what you guys, if you guys are vibing, the Body of Work podcast. I have a goal in my mind that I want to essentially put out about 10 episodes before I start inviting people on the podcast to share their journey and the legacy that they are working on leaving behind. So this is 5 more to go, ending 2024. We're gonna see if I'm gonna pop out, get out another episode before the year ends. Who knows? Again, right now it's more of a sporadic thing, and later on in the future may tend to give it a bit more structure. But for now, I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. And coming back to the journal that I made, I'm going to probably put it, I did, full transparency. I created my own form of a digital journal / planner that I called it the grounded focus journal. And it essentially combines the practice of the 5-minute journal and planning out your day. And this is something that you can do within 10 minutes in the morning, where you can set yourself mentally for what the day is going to bring. And so you have a lot more intention going into the day. So again, I did build my version of this journal, which has a natural flow to accompany how when you wake up and how the day progresses. It's a paid product. I'm gonna put the link in my bio if you want to check it out and cop it. Feel free. It's super cheap right now. And yeah, let me know your thoughts if you do start utilizing, whether it's this journal or just journaling and planning out your day in general. I'm super curious to know how you go about this. I'm gonna end this video here. Guys, be blessed. Don't give up on yourself. Continue to, chase that version of you that, only you see being possible. Block out everything else. It's not saying that you're not good enough now, but, us as humans, we feel happy, we feel content when we're making progress. So continue to make progress. Done is better than perfect, as my life coach will tell me. And with that, I'm going to end this episode right here, guys. You take care. Peace.